You wake up. It's 2050. What do you Google first? I'd Google things you wouldn't believe were considered okay to say 30 years ago. Number 5 will leave you choking and gagging. Time Traveler's 2020 inches. The best answer, to be honest. I'll definitely Google it if I wake up in 2050. Hey Siri, set reminder. LOL, my Google Home will let you set a reminder for up to 9,999 days, 23 hours and 559 minutes. Needless to say, the future will hear my drunken rambles. How much longer until the Winds of Winter release date is announced? Sometime after Patrick Rothfuss announces the release date to Kingkiller Chronicles Book 3. Meanwhile, Brandon Sanderson has written 500 Cosmere books and finished 5 different series for authors that died too soon. When did Betty White pass away? Betty White, 1856, present. God bless that woman. Betty White, 1856. LOL. God Empress Betty White ascended to her immortal throne in 2039, where she will reign for all eternity. Next Google search: how to be the God Empress's concubine. Is Elizabeth II still alive? No. She held on until her son, Charles, passed away so he would never be king. Who knew speed alone could keep you alive? Larry David, in season 10 of Curb. The British. My name? Got to find out if there was a major disturbance over my disappearance or if nobody actually noticed. No results. Same as today. Same as it ever was. Same as it ever was. Same as it ever was. Is Putin still the president of Russia? Oh man, he will never stop. P.S. I'm Russian. I think so. Putin also has the power to live eternally, just like Queen Elizabeth. Good conspiracy theory. I think he will transfer his consciousness in an AI on his feet bed and will rule Russia forever. So first headline you see when Googling him: Cyborg Putin got re-elected again. 100% of all citizens of the NUSSR voted for him. Other news: gulags are busier than ever. Plot twist: Google doesn't exist anymore. Bing takes over after people use it jokingly on April Fools, but never stop. 2050 won't be that advanced then, but there sure will be widespread access to high-quality PN. 30 years and nothing changes then. Great! If I don't have Robo Aphis in 2050 to sleep with in place of my waifu pillows, then I don't want to live on this planet in 2050. Between 1990 and now, what did we get? Smartphones and ubiquitous broadband are the biggest difference between my childhood and adulthood. By 2050 we'll probably make the jump from self-driving cars being a thing that exists to the norm. Is there any other tech that just needs a bit more time to get big? I'd bet 2050 looks more like today than we're hoping, but with more techno-yodeling. Mars colony. In the late 2010s and early 2020s, several private companies and governments briefly considered sending humans to Mars. It turned out nobody wanted to spend 2 years on a cramped spacecraft pooping in a bag just to die on a rock without internet access. You'd have internet access. Your ping would just be circa 360,000 ms to circa 2,700,000 ms. So just what playing Apex is like now. Frick, so it's not just me. I read an article that talked about internet if we colonized Mars. It would be basically 2 different internet. If you need to get something from Mars, you will have to put yourself in a queue. When your request reached the top, it would be downloaded on server on Earth and be accessible for everyone here. The more peoples want access to the same website, the more it goes up in the queue. For Mars, where server would be rare, and their capacity much lower than Earth, it would be a system of least used deleted first for data coming from Earth. Website based on Mars would have priority anyway, or on Earth it would stay there, and just need some update. Turns on incognito mode, hand reaches out of monitor and jacks you off. The plot thickens, so does the cum. 30 years of sitting there and it'd be like mayonnaise. My man's balls are shooting lotion after that long. That would be freaking fun. I'd finally have a reason to go outside. Until you realize it's summer and climate change hasn't been stopped, so it's like 55 degrees C. It was like 40 degrees C in the shadow last summer, so probably more. Best things to Google in 2050. The number one thing to Google in 2050 is Tobanian. You're taken aback, wondering if the entire world knows about you, knows that you don't belong. The pressure mounts, and you want to hide away in a burrow and wait for your strange fame to die down. But everything is connected to cameras in 2050. You're being watched from 4,000 directions at once, burning under all the eyes like an ant under a magnifying glass. You wonder if you shouldn't just get it over with and end your own life. Seems easier than having the entire world staring at you 24/7. Then you begin to worry that the search result is AI selected specifically to drive you to such a conclusion. And maybe all the searches are by people who want to watch videos of you ending it before you even chose to do so. Could an AI be so intelligent that it selected a search result that becomes a perfect self-fulfilling prophecy? It's about this time you learn that in 2050. Tabayan is a VR full immersion experiential website that sells lots and lots of hentai with full haptic Sangu splash effects with your home 4D nozzle. You spend the next 3 weeks browsing their content, but in subspace, it feels like 3 years. Latest lockdown restrictions and links to 8G. Hopefully it will be more like a utopia, not a dystopia. I like your optimism. Half-Life 3 trailer when? Half-Life Alyx is out. It's a prequel to Half-Life 2, but still, this is first game from Valve in a long time. My bank details. Interest $. Too bad interest doesn't beat inflation. Also hard to accrue much on $0. Yeah. But what about compound interest? Check the sick amortization table. Assuming 1% interest. Year 1, $0. Year 2, $0. Year 3, $0. Year 4, $0. I could go on, but I don't want anyone's eyes to gloss over at all that unimaginable wealth. I want to see if I can catch up with the times through memes alone, and everybody will call you insert replacement for boomer meme. Alright Zoomer, I would Google what the hell happened. The first thing Google would tell you is, showing results for what the hell happened. Search instead for what the hell happened. And after that you'd have shitty results, as you have them today. What happened? Has Yandir Simulator's development been completed yet? Nope. But I have good news. Asana's development is 97% complete as of 1/1/2050, up from 96% 1 year ago on 1/1/2049, 2052. I've made the hard decision to switch engines. Wouldn't that be funny? Nah, dude's gotta put an insert increasing amount of useless Easter eggs features here. Something bad code something nothing chalice. I just go back to sleep. Mate. Mood. I'm reading this from bed. Same. This is the 3rd time today I've just laid in bed. I've been in bed all day long. Google. Some things never change. Tom Brady's current team. He went back to the Patriots in 2021 and has won 10 more Super Bowls. Bill's son is now head coach. Further results show he would have won 4 more, but he kept coming out of retirement to do his sworn duty for the Giants. World's largest economies. See how the world's financial power has moved, who has gotten bigger and who has fallen by the wayside. Coronavirus Pandemic 2020. Showing results for Coronavirus Pandemic 2020 to 2050. Search instead for Coronavirus Pandemic 2020. Sorry we didn't recognize that request. Searching instead for the Great Plague 2020 to 2046. You might also mean the end times or the Black Death. Reloaded. My own name. I have metastatic cancer and a prognosis of about 10 years. I want to know why I'm alive in 2050, and what I managed to get done between now and when I went to sleep. My mom battled metastatic breast and bone cancer for 16 years, which was about 10 years longer than her prognosis. She always said her hope and optimism was what got her through. Wishing you years of health and happiness. You can do it. Internet high five to her. That gives me hope. Pity you. Hope you will get remission. Thanks. The chances are low, but I'm trying to make the best of the life I have left. How many things did you knock out of your bucket list? Is Amazon still out of toilet paper? The Amazon was completely cleared out, along with the redwood forests of North America, in order to try and keep up with demand. Unfortunately, even this was not enough. Now trees are seen as a luxury property and only those of the highest class may have one in their backyard. How many countries are left in the world? Only one, and the only survivors are the Reddit admins. Humanity is doomed as the number of living humans dwindle to nothing, because all mods are gay. Sports Almanac 2020 to 2050. You never know if you get pulled back. Price of Bitcoin. Showing results for Dogecoin. No Game No Life Season 2. We all are waiting. Who is president of Russia and who is current ruler of the UK? Need to know if Putin and Queen Elizabeth are keeping their power. Putin has clones. Queen Elizabeth has the Infinity Stone. A world map. Some countries might have conquered new territory. You never know. Agreed. My grandfather's obituary. If I woke that far in the future, He's surely gone. And I'd want to know he went surrounded by folks who loved him. iPhone 42 specs results. iPhone XS Pro Max Plus Ultra Limited Set product Red Zoom came out in September 2049. Buy now for $10,999. What caused World War III? Assassination of Alexander Van der Bellen. Same thing I Google every morning. Ricardo Milosh. Fully automated sex doll price. When deepfakes reach their final form, I can finally get my very own Ryan Reynolds. Due to copyright restrictions, the only version you can get is Green Lantern.